Good morning. Welcome to stretching, and I hope that you are doing well, that we can bring some peace to your morning and just enjoy moving our bodies. Let's get everything juiced up and just get going. Okay, so let's start with some twisting. Put your feet squarely under you, under your hips, and your ribs up over your hips, so twisting. I'm feeling an immediate release. Twisting is just a simple way to get your muscles and bones loosened up after being asleep all night, or maybe sitting at your desk all day and getting ready for your rest at night. Just a great way to loosen up, warm things up, and get ready. And you start to feel the effects of twisting pretty quickly. You can just feel like your arms reach a little farther, your chest turns a little more, your hips are resisting less, and you can start to feel where you need some extra work, extra stretching, extra focused pressure somewhere, maybe down the front of your hip, working on sciatic, maybe a spot between your scapula, your shoulder blades. It's just that good feeling. Okay, reach back. We want to do a lot of opposite movement when we're working together than the normal stuff that we're doing. And how often we find ourselves slumped over, hunchy, so slunchy, and that puts a lot of pressure on our lower back. It's not strong for our upper back, so stand up really tall as we're working together. Let that be a pattern that you follow. Reaching your ears and the top of your head straight up, out of your neck, nice and wide and open across the front and across the back. Let's get some movement through our shoulders. Just whatever it is that you feel like you need to get moving. But my suggestions just help get things going. I hope that instead of just watching, you are participating, getting yourself warmed up for your day. Looking forward to sunshine, or maybe a little bit of rain for the greenery around you. Okay, let's just do a little rolling back of your shoulders. My shoulders tell me that they need extra concern and work. Okay, and then just a little side to side. This is kind of the opposite of what we normally do, right? Unless we're giving some attention to our bodies and what they need. So I'm trying to keep my feet nice and flat, connected with the floor. I feel like my toes are reaching out. My heels feel evenly spaced, carrying my weight evenly. My knees are soft, not locked. My hips feel strong, trying not to sway back and forth, but to be a sure foundation for the stretching and the movement. Okay, does that feel like just getting a little bit juiced up there? Let's focus a little bit on our neck. Let's look side to side. Movement that we do in limited quantities, but let's really go in and reach our edges Hit the maximum from side to side. And as you do that, you should feel like moves just a little farther, a little more freely. We want freedom of rotation, increased mobility, range of motion. Okay, a few of those. I'm not counting. I'm just going till I feel like I'm getting lots of movement, freedom of motion in there. And then we can add on to it a little bit later. Let's take the top of our head up and over to the side, similar to going side to side through our waist and upper ribs, but focusing right now on our necks. Knowing that we're doing something really good for our bodies. Hang out there a little bit. Find a spot that you need. Shift your shoulder just a little bit. Hit a couple new angles. Ooh. What do you feel? What do you feel? Maybe reach your neck back just gently, reaching the top of your head, carving a little arc on the side there. Okay, bring it up and over to the other side. Just a little extra focused pressure right where you might need it. Okay, move your shoulder back and forth just a little bit. Can you feel where you might need it? Okay, and then move your head just a little bit, back and forth, hitting a couple new angles, getting a focused pressure in there. Focusing specifically on a spot that needs some TLC. Okay, bring that up. Straight curl. Now bring your chin forward and up. We want to focus on not crimping our neck behind us, but keeping the angle open. Curve up and around. And all that takes is a little bit of strength, beginning with your abdominals. Lift, chin, down and up, down and up, gently. Okay, leave your chin low. Hit a couple new angles. Our necks work so hard, keeping our head up and our focus going out, being aware of what's going on around us, thinking, talking, communicating, all of the things that our necks do. We can just give them a little attention. Okay, lift your chin again. Brings your whole head up to a nice posture, and then just lean gently back, curve up and over, keep that open. Strong abdominals lifting, and bring your chin down. So let's look side to side. Few times. Okay, come back to center. Head goes up and over. Can you feel extra range of motion? You can take time, hang out, do this for quite a while, according to what you need for your neck, your body. Bring it up to center, chin comes down and up, down and up, down, curve up and over, and front. Lots of us carry our tension in our necks. That affects our shoulders, going down, maybe down into your ribs, causing pain across the front of your chest or into your upper back. You know, that where you just want to crunch away all of that stress. So giving this pressure and focused attention helps relieve some of that stress. It's really good for us. Let's bring our hands down behind and stretch toward the floor. You're going to lift your abdominals. You can't really see with the sweatshirt on. We have to take that off. But lift your abdominals. You're thinking about pressing your navel, your belly button right to your spine as if you have a ping pong ball in there, and you can just gently press it and hold it together and hold it right in space between. So that's an imaginary, what's the word I want for that? Directed imagination, or there's a specific term, but it'll come to me. Okay, hands coming straight down. Now, reach one hand. You're going to pull it, so you're pulling across. You're increasing your angle on one side and using focused pressure with the other hand. Remember to breathe. Okay, let's bring it back to center and switch to the other side. So this shoulder, my up shoulder, my pulling shoulder, is feeling strong. I'm lifting my abdominals, and then I'm increasing the stretch across this shoulder kind of to the floor. I can hit the angle I need. Let's switch sides again. Increasing the pressure you feel like you can give there. And the second side. Lift those abdominals. It's easy to let that go, but you want the strength growing in your muscles across your abdominals. Okay, bring it up. Bring your hands forward. Really high upper back stretch right around the top of your ribs, pulling your scapula away from each other, stretching around. Release. Hands clasp behind you and lift. Lift your chest. This is crunching our shoulder blades together, but it's giving us a different stretch. You can reach one way, reach the other. Yes, lift, 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 just as high as you can. Then release. Press out the front once again, really high in your ribs. Okay, I want to show you on your body where some muscles are for your shoulders. Let's see here. So your sternum is the hard bony plate right in the front, and you have muscles connecting to that. Here's your clavicle bone, and there are muscles that connect up here from your jaw down into the clavicle, and this is your sternocleidomastoid. So mastoid, clavicle, and sternum. These muscles really connect in here. You just have lots and lots of connections. So these muscles get really tight, and they affect how everything pulls from here into your back, into your ribs. And so we get lots of pain and pressure. So you can give just gentle pressure, or you can grab a racquetball or a tennis ball or something and put some, like, lean up against the wall on that, a foam roller, getting into, so these muscles will help release lots of tension if you can give some focused pressure in there. have somebody else press on those. But if you reach in, you can feel like as these muscles are attaching to your ribs, there's just a lot of resistance that they give you in that feeling of soreness. Like you're like, ah, that's a sore muscle, but those are muscles that can just really get some good pressure in there and help release. You'll get lots of range of motion if you help release these muscles in your deltoid. Our deltoids hold a lot, so they help us reach up, right, and get things high, but then they also can be constricted if you have some spasms in there, or maybe you do too many muscle strengthening stretches or workouts. Giving some pressure in there can help release that. Then in your all around your scapula, trapezoids up in here, and just help release all of this. Okay, another way to do that is to see these flat angles and bumps. When you put your hands flat, you can get those in on your neck as well. Just give some nice pressure, resist well, because when we relieve stress and pressure that we hold ourselves, that also increases range of motion, flexibility, and the ability to strengthen those muscles. It's a lot of work. I mean, sometimes I just like to grab in here around these muscles just at the base of where my head fits onto my neck. Those muscles get lots of workout, leaning forward on the computer, cooking, you're looking down, chopping something. All of those muscles are affected by the weight of your head, just pulling and pressing. If you're not in really good alignment, you can get in there behind your ears. You find little knots in there and just press on them with the soft part of your finger, but you've got your bone in your finger pressing on that, giving yourself a nice focused pressure right in on those. And wherever it hurts is where you need the pressure to give your muscle the message that it can let go. That was just a little timeout for specific muscles in there, but all of these muscles, if you're feeling down, especially this sternocleidomastoid, and you find a little knot in there, give it 5 minutes of focused pressure. You can help release those. Just a little bit there. Okay, so we've already done a little bit of side to side, but let's do some more reaching down and down. Release. So I'm feeling this right across the top of my hip. All those bones that are my foundation in there that cradle all of my internal organs, keep them safe where they're supposed to be. But these muscles work really hard to keep us upright, in good posture, walking, moving, stepping up, using ladders, using stairs. So I can feel that. So putting my finger on the muscles that have tightness helps me be aware of where they are. And the extra focused pressure can help those release. Can you feel it in there? I'm stretching right down into my neck as well. And up and over to the other side. Find it. Lean into it just a little. Focus pressure. As you breathe, and those muscles release gently, gently by just little micrometers, like micromeasures. Can you feel it? Find the spot. You can tell your body's telling you exactly where it holds tension, where it holds maybe you stepped funny or slipped on the ice and gave it jerk and it just kind of went into a spasm. Oh, nice release there. Can you feel it? Do you have those little ticks where the bones say, oh, I can go farther because my muscles are softer? Our bodies are amazing. They work so hard to keep us upright and doing the things that we want to do. And then they respond well to a little TLC. Okay, bring that up. Pulling on my hair as much as anything. Let's bend our knees. So your posture with this is important, as it always is. Let me show you from the side. I'm going to bend my knees, but I'm going to think about keeping this strong, not constricted. Keep my shoulders open wide, wide across my back. Lift my abdominals. Tailbone points to the floor without tucking back. Lift. Lift. Okay, so just some knees there. Work into your feet and ankles. Give them a little attention. Hit some angles. Stretch into your toes, not just over them. Open up these hips. Stretch up and over your toes. Feel across the front of your shins. Those muscles as well need TLC and care. Okay, lift your heel. Feels like we haven't done these in a while. So I'm feeling the stretch from the insertion on my hip down through my quadricep. I'm going to keep the angle, lift my abdominals, keep my tailbone strong and firm behind me, press away with my heel, away from my hip, so that I'm opening up the angle of my knee. As you exhale, relax those muscles so the energy is in stretching long across the front of the quad. Can you feel it? Open up in the shoulder. Utilize this moment to grab as many areas. Give them the focus that you're thinking. I can feel that in my ribs, my lower ribs behind me. Open, stretch. And I'm trying to keep my knees somewhat in the same parallel, keep them together, so my focus is on my quad. A different stretch would be lifting higher, but that goes into your lower back. And this one, we're working on our quadricep. Okay, release that. Give yourself a little freedom in your hips. Second side, lift, bring those knees parallel together under. And I'm going to lift in my abdominals, open across my chest and my back, press my heel away from my hip, keeping those knees parallel and together. Ooh, balance. You don't have to keep that knee locked. Okay, I'm feeling across my upper chest, back through my ribs. I'm opening up. I'm trying to really open up this area from my heel to my hip, and using that to press, press, press. Keep my knees together, working on balance. You can have a chair beside you or the wall if you need. Okay, let's do this again on this first side. Reach back with both hands if you can, or just take it across. It's going to open up your hip just in a different angle, in a new way. Pressing the heel away from the hip. And switch. Open it up. You're going to feel that pull focused in a new direction. Opening that up and press away. Second side, lifting. Use both hands if you can, if you want to. Another way to do this would be to put your foot on a chair and just open up that hip. You can use something behind you that would help you, but you're still going to have the focus on the quadricep in the front of your leg, opening that up. Open it out. Get that extra stretch on a new angle. And switch. Keeping my knees, trying to keep my knees together. Open up the angle from my hip. So keeping my knee, instead of crimping, trying to keep that open. Feel that in a new angle on this leg. Good, we're working. Okay, I want to get back into this side. Just gently reaching in. Going back to those muscles that need us, to give them some attention. Let's see, let me look at my time. Oh yes. Reaching down, holding on the first side. Find where it's really tight. Just add a little focus pressure right there. Yours might be right on the side, it might be through the back, maybe in the front, and up and over. Work it out. I had intended to focus more on sciatic, but this is getting to it just at that higher angle. But let's go to the floor, and I brought a couple of different things. I have just a regular racquetball. I have a pool noodle, and I have a foam roller. So something that you have that will help you. Let's go down. I have them all easily accessible for me. But let's start just by sitting up nice and tall. See if you can see me. And reach your chest forward. Soften your knees gently. You want your chest in a nice alignment with your spine and lower back, so I'm leaning my whole torso forward to my knees. Reaching to my feet. Everything else is just a little bit soft and relaxed into the floor, letting gravity pull me forward. But I have a little support with my hands, help keep my back straight. So this is actually focusing on my hamstrings as much as anything else. Okay, and if you feel like it softens up and releases a little, you can reach your hands down just that micro bit more. Then let's take the top of the head up and over Now I'm in from a straight position, I'm going to go ahead and curve over
until I hit that maximum. Just breathe into the stretch there. After a few seconds, you may feel a burning sensation either in your hips, the back of your legs, your lower back. Just breathe through it, just hang out through it. Lift your abdominals. As that burning sensation dissipates or goes away, your body may relax. A little micro measure. Hang out and wait for another release. Can you feel just the weight of gravity pulling all of you down? Breathing.
So whether or not you get one of those little burning releases, it's great to stretch up and over. So we're releasing through gravity into that front space. You can take a wider stance with your feet, stretch down individually to one side. So I'm keeping my back kind of straight there, and then I curl over.
Keep both of your hip bones right on the floor, those little sit bones, the ischium, at the very base of your hips, down on the floor. Release. I just felt that my shoulder was holding me away. I just breathe, exhale, and breathe out. Let everything go. One more big breath. And coming up.
Take your time. Hang out there as long as you need to if that feels like a place that you really need to focus. Let's turn our chest to the other leg. We're going to lean out, thinking long, straight from your tailbone out the top of your head, straight. So that is an angle that's going to help release this. And then curve over,
getting a new angle. Breathing, still lifting your abdominals so that your angle is open between your ribs and your thigh. Will something help you get a better stretch and relief in that area? Reach for something. Just try to make what you're doing just a little bigger, a little longer. So I can feel that up into my neck and right behind my shoulder blade there. In my hip. You would think I would feel it in the back of my hamstring, but I'm not. So I'm obviously tight in these other locations and not even getting to that. Okay, bring that up.
You can take that by angles. Reach down into the first side. Reach down into the second side. Doing the curve over, take time to do that. Let's bring our feet together. just in a nice, comfortable stretch. We haven't gotten to the other things, have we? Let's bring one hand up and over. And switch. We'll get to those. And switch. Again, take time. If this feels like it will really help you, take time, hang out in these. Get that stretch through your ribs. But I do want to go to, we'll just use these as an example. Maybe press something right in the muscles of your gluteals. That focused pressure is going to help start releasing the stress and strain in these muscles. Our sciatic nerve, and I've talked about this before, we'll talk about it again. Our sciatic nerve innervates in our lower back, all in a general area, not exactly the same for every person. So it's connecting in, getting close to your spine, and then it travels through your gluteals, through the muscles, down your leg, past your knee, all the way down your calf, through the pectineus, into your heel, and affects your foot. So this is a nerve, the sciatic nerve, and all of those muscles that it travels through to take your electrical impulses from your brain to help your body move. The muscles get tighter and tighter when you have sciatic issues. So it's the muscles pinching that give you loss of movement, might drop you to the floor if you take a funny step and get a jabbing, shooting sensation. You can have pain in your hip, your lower back, all the way down your leg, in your knee, in your calf, in your heel, and in your feet, which also affects plantar fasciitis. I found it. It is feeling the pressure. So when you take something like this, or the heel of your hand, or a roller, and you focus in the pressure on a space that already gives you pain, you are saying to those muscles, you don't have to work so hard. I acknowledge you work so hard to keep me safe, to help me be mobile. But those muscles get into a spasm and they get too tight around that nerve. And when they're tight like that, the messages don't flow freely, and you're restricting your range of motion. You're restricting your ability to move well. When you put the pressure on, you give the muscle the message, you don't have to work so hard. You can let go. When they let go, then they're able to, so your muscles are letting go. Then they're able to flex and relax more freely, allowing for the free movement around your sciatic nerve. And so you can help alleviate pain and whatever your sciatic is doing for you. Shift it around, get a new spot. So these are very pointed and focused on that. Another way to get in there is on a roller. Find where it is, however it is, that is going to help you put pressure on those muscles so that they get the message. They don't have to hold so hard. So I can feel it's all around my hip, from the front to the back, that I feel the muscles are tight and affecting that sciatic nerve. I keep mine pretty loose, but I still have all of that pressure that I'm putting on it every day with walking and moving. And so can you see the roller is super helpful because it helps you get right in there, and you've got that nice firm resistance. Now, if you have so much pain in the muscles around your sciatic nerve, go slow. Start slow. Something that isn't as resistant will be helpful. So that's why I got this for several reasons. It's softer, a little more focused. It's going to help me in the long run. So that helps with this one as well as the stretch when you're trying to get your calves. So I'm working on just one side here. Trying to get those. Now, you can roll right up, shift and adjust that so that you're getting pressure on these muscles in the side of your leg, wherever you feel that the strained muscles, those tight muscles, travel on a path all the way down until they don't have stress and strain anymore. So you just get on there. It doesn't feel good. I promise you. You already have pain. You might not feel it all the time, but the tight muscles are there. When you put the pressure on them is when you become aware of how much pressure is on them. And it hurts when you're working on them, trying to get them released. You're working for the relief after the fact. When all of this is done and your muscles are moving more freely, you have range of motion, that's when you'll feel the relief of the pain. You already have it. You're just going to give it some more, feel it some more till it's gone. Yep, we feel it. So you don't have to just do this when you're working with me. Take time every day, a couple times a day. Get in here. So I would have thought this morning that closer to my hip is where I would be feeling this pressure, but the closer I get to my knee, still very intense. So adding pressure, get right up on it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Not fun, but very worthwhile. Okay, all the way down into my knee now. Feeling that stretch, feeling, not the stretch, feeling the focused pressure. And there's nothing wrong with resistance. So you're getting a double workout here. Increasing range of motion and flexibility, reducing pain here as you're giving focused pressure, and then weight resistance right here. Okay, getting into this knee, I think I'm going to need the bigger one because my knees just don't weigh as much as my hips do. So there I am. I feel more pressure now. All the way down in my knee. So as you're doing this, you're helping to relieve the tension in the muscles around the sciatic and anywhere else that you're feeling it. Okay, I'm just going to give a nice roll all the way up to the top. Ooh, yep, feel it. And everybody's sciatic travels down their leg in just a different spot. It might innervate way back here by your spine and then come around the side. It might go straight down the back. It's just your body is going to tell you the work that you need. So let's go to the second side. However it works for you. Now we are not even on both sides. We are not perfectly symmetrical. So where you think you might find it again on the second side, just might be a different place. You'll find it. Your body will tell you. Let's attack it at the hip, right here at the top. Finding it, because I know the relief. I recommend this for the relief that you will feel after, if you focus on this for a good several days, probably a week, you can do miracles with releasing these muscles around your sciatic. So it's not an immediate result in general, but you will feel better. Oh, when you find the spot, it burns. Okay, how am I going to get more focus right there? Find it again. As you shift away, you might get a little relief, but go back, find it again. Right in that hip. Now roll up and over. Find where it is. I'm going to roll out of the screen. Sorry about that. Let me shift and adjust that. Okay, top of the quad, top of the hamstring, wherever it is that you feel the pressure, follow that line all the way down your leg. Into the knee. And down. I have used a lot of your time this morning. So let's crisscross one more time. Up and over. Get down into those muscles that we just gave the pressure. Trust them. Give them the support, the tender loving care that they need. They will keep working for you. Okay, we did that neck early on. You should be feeling a little bit of relief. Reach the hands back behind you. Reach your hands front and press. Bring our hands high. Reach, 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 and low. Okay, one, wrap your arms around. That's the hug I send to you today. Everybody needs one. Everybody needs a dozen every day. I hope that you got a great stretch and that you're inspired to keep working on those muscles so that they can be released and work harder for you. Have a wonderful day. I hope that you have peace and that you come back and let's stretch together some more. Have a very nice day.